Welcome to Public Account, where real-life nightmares come alive. Prepare to be haunted by chilling tales of the unknown, drawn from actual events. Lights off, volume up, and remember, these horrors are closer than you think. Subscribe, if you dare.
The Dover Demon of Massachusetts, April 21st to 22nd, 1977. Unveiling the mystery. In the quiet suburban town of Dover, Massachusetts, nestled amidst verdant landscapes and picturesque settings, a chilling urban legend emerged in April 1977 that would etch itself into the annals of supernatural lore. Dubbed the Dover Demon, this enigmatic and elusive creature, with its eerie description and baffling appearances, would both captivate and haunt the imaginations of locals and skeptics alike. The night of April 21st, 1977, an unearthly encounter. As the sun dipped below the horizon on that fateful April evening, a group of teenagers ventured out into the tranquil countryside, unaware that they were about to stumble upon something truly extraordinary. As they meandered along the desolate, rural roads near the Springdale Avenue, their mundane night transformed into an otherworldly experience. It was then that they first laid eyes upon the creature that would come to be known as the Dover Demon. Described as having a hairless, watermelon-shaped head and large, glowing eyes, the entity stood around 4 feet tall, its spindly limbs and disproportionate features defying easy categorization. Fear and astonishment gripped the teenagers as they gazed upon this inexplicable apparition. A sense of urgency compelled them to sketch what they saw, leaving behind visual records that would later fuel speculation and debate. The following night, reinforcing the mystery, with the night's disturbing encounter still fresh in their minds, the teenagers returned to the same location the next evening. To their astonishment, they again caught sight of the Dover Demon, this time near the picturesque Miller Elementary School. Despite its uncanny appearance and the eerie circumstances, the creature exhibited no aggression or hostility. Instead, it seemed to observe the world around it with an air of detached curiosity. As the news of these encounters spread through the tight-knit Dover community, both fascination and skepticism ignited fervent discussions. Local authorities were inundated with calls from concerned residents, while skeptics attempted to debunk the sightings as mere exaggerations or misidentifications of mundane animals. Possible explanations: a clash of views. The Dover Demon's appearances ignited a clash between skeptics and believers. The scientific community remained hesitant to accept the existence of a new, unclassified species in the region. Some proposed that the creature might have been a misidentified animal, such as a young moose or a deformed cat, while others leaned towards the possibility of an elaborate hoax or a manifestation of mass hysteria. However, those who bore witness to the entity's bizarre form remained steadfast in their conviction. They contended that the Dover Demon could not be explained away as a mere terrestrial creature. The creature's peculiar features, including its hairless, oversized head and the eerie luminescence in its eyes, defied conventional explanations. Legacy and cultural impact. The Dover Demon left an indelible mark on both the local community and the wider world. It became a topic of interest in paranormal circles, featured in books, documentaries, and online discussions. The original sketches made by the witnesses, accompanied by their first-hand accounts, continued to serve as potent catalysts for debates about the existence of the unknown and the limits of human perception. The legend also found its way into popular culture, inspiring artistic interpretations, fictional tales, and even influencing aspects of the horror genre. The Dover Demon's legacy endured, serving as a reminder that even in an age of scientific understanding, there remain mysteries that defy conventional explanation, unanswered questions and continuing speculation. To this day, the true nature of the Dover Demon remains elusive. Despite numerous attempts to unravel the mystery, no conclusive evidence has emerged to either confirm or disprove the existence of the creature. The witnesses, now grown, still hold fast to their accounts, recounting the profound impact the encounters had on their lives. The Dover Demon of Massachusetts stands as a testament to the enduring allure of the unknown, the power of eyewitness testimony, and the capacity of the human imagination to conjure both wonder and fear. As long as the legend lives on, it will continue to inspire curiosity and debate, reminding us that even in our modern world, mysteries can still lurk just beyond the edges of our understanding. The Chupacabra. Unleashing terror and bloodlust in the shadows. In the dead of night, when the world was draped in a shroud of darkness and even the bravest souls sought the refuge of their homes, an insidious terror was said to stalk the land of Puerto Rico in the 1990s. Its name reverberated through hushed whispers and fearful glances, echoing a menace that was more than just a mere legend. It was a chilling reality. This was the era of the Chupacabra, a creature that emerged from the darkest corners of imagination to haunt the lives of those who dared to venture too close to its path. The story of the Chupacabra is one of primal fear, a nightmare that refuses to be contained within the realm of fantasy. Though often spoken of in the United States, it was the lush and mysterious landscapes of Puerto Rico where this urban legend found its most chilling incarnation. As dusk surrendered to the inky embrace of the night, ranchers would retire to their homes, locking the doors and windows as a silent plea for safety. For it was under the cover of night that the Chupacabra emerged, its hunger for blood as insatiable as the shadows that concealed its grotesque form. The creature's modus operandi was gruesome, a tableau of horror etched into the memories of those who encountered its malevolence. It was said to possess an otherworldly appearance, a ghastly fusion of the animal and the monstrous. Descriptions varied, but a common thread ran through the accounts. The Chupacabra was a creature born of nightmares, with leathery grey skin stretched taut over a skeletal frame. Its eyes glowed like two malevolent embers, piercing the darkness with an unholy fire. And then there were the fangs, long, razor-sharp, and gleaming with a malevolent hunger. The Chupacabra's insatiable thirst for blood became the stuff of whispered tales and fearful speculation. Ranchers would wake to the grisly aftermath of its predations, their livestock found brutally exsanguinated, their life force drained as though consumed by an unseen spectre. Goats, chickens, even dogs, no creature was safe from its unholy craving. The very air seemed to hum with dread, as the locals grappled with a terror that seemed to defy the natural order. As the stories of these attacks multiplied, so did the hysteria. Newspapers carried sensational headlines, recounting the macabre scenes left in the wake of the Chupacabra's nocturnal rampages. And it wasn't long before the legend crossed the waters and took root in the southwestern United States. Ranchers there began to report similar incidents, attributing the gruesome deaths of their livestock to the same fiend that had terrorized Puerto Rico. The Chupacabra was no longer confined to the boundaries of an island, it had become an omen of doom that transcended borders. Amid the fear and chaos, experts struggled to make sense of the phenomenon. Cryptologists and biologists dissected the evidence, attempting to unveil the truth behind the urban legend. Theories ranged from alien creatures gone rogue to genetic mutations spawned from clandestine experiments. But for all the scientific inquiry, the answers remained elusive, obscured by the fog of terror that shrouded the Chupacabra's every move. In the face of this enigma, communities began to band together, united by their shared dread. Vigilante groups formed, determined to hunt down the Chupacabra and end its reign of terror. Armed with weapons and a mixture of courage and desperation, these brave souls patrolled the night, seeking the shadowy figure that had plunged their lives into chaos. But the creature remained one step ahead, a spectre that slipped through the fingers of those who sought to expose its true nature. And then, as swiftly as it had emerged, the Chupacabra seemed to vanish. The attacks grew fewer, the encounters rarer, until the very mention of its name became tinged with a sense of the surreal. The urban legend faded from the headlines, replaced by newer horrors and more pressing fears. But for those who had witnessed its malevolent gaze and felt the icy fingers of dread wrap around their hearts, the memory of the Chupacabra remained imprinted, an indelible mark of a time when the night held more than just darkness, it held a terror that defied explanation. To this day, the Chupacabra's true identity remains cloaked in mystery, an enigma that refuses to yield to the rigors of science or reason. Its legacy lives on in whispered tales and haunted gazes, a reminder that even in the modern world, there are still shadows that conceal creatures of the night, lurking just beyond the edges of our understanding. And as long as the moon casts its eerie glow and the night holds its secrets, the legend of the Chupacabra will endure, a chilling reminder of the thin veil that separates our reality from the nightmares that lie just beneath the surface. The Hopkinsville Goblins of Kentucky. Unraveling the enigmatic encounter of 1955. Introduction. The realm of the unknown has always captivated human imagination, giving rise to tales that straddle the line between reality and myth. Among these narratives lies the intriguing urban legend of the Hopkinsville Goblins incident that unfolded on the nights of August 21st to 22nd, 1955, in a remote farmhouse in rural Kentucky. This chilling account revolves around a family's encounter with otherworldly beings, small, goblin-like creatures with astonishing features that defy conventional explanation. The incident, often linked to the world of cryptid lore, continues to pique curiosity, prompting speculation about the nature of the entities and the veracity of the events. The setting and characters. Located just outside the small town of Hopkinsville, the Sutton farmhouse stood as a simple, isolated abode surrounded by the vast expanse of the Kentucky countryside. The primary characters in this surreal drama were the Sutton family and their friends, who were gathered at the farmhouse on that fateful summer evening. Billy Ray Taylor, a visiting family friend, was the first to witness something inexplicable outside the farmhouse window, setting off a sequence of events that would become the stuff of legend. The encounter. As darkness descended upon the farmhouse on the evening of August 21st, 1955, a sense of unease began to envelop the Sutton family and their guests. Suddenly, Taylor burst into the house, white-faced and agitated, describing a bizarre sight outside: strange, small creatures with oversized heads, glowing eyes, and metallic claws. The ensuing hours saw a relentless siege as these enigmatic beings seemingly emerged from the shadows to encircle the farmhouse. The goblins' description. Described as standing around 3 to 4 feet tall, the goblin-like entities were unlike any known creatures. Their heads were abnormally large in proportion to their bodies, and their eyes emitted an eerie, luminous glow. Witnesses recounted their skin as being a pale shade, and they possessed long, pointed ears. Most unsettling were their metallic, almost retractable claws that they extended when provoked. Their appearance seemed almost alien, challenging conventional classifications and fueling speculation about their origin and purpose. A night of terror. Throughout the night, the family and their guests reported a series of bizarre and unsettling experiences. The creatures reportedly exhibited an eerie intelligence, evading attempts to capture or shoot them. The witnesses described hearing strange noises, scratching, tapping, and faint whispers that seemed to emanate from various directions simultaneously. The relentless assault continued until the early hours of the morning, when the Sutton family finally made a daring escape to the Hopkinsville police station. Law enforcement and investigation. The local law enforcement officers were initially skeptical, attributing the disturbances to imagination, hysteria, or even alcohol consumption. However, upon witnessing the family's palpable fear and the seemingly untouched bullet holes in the walls, they began to take the situation more seriously. A search of the property yielded no definitive evidence of the creature's existence, yet the terror etched on the witnesses' faces convinced them that something truly out of the ordinary had occurred. Legacy and speculation. The Hopkinsville Goblins incident quickly captured the public's imagination, becoming a cornerstone of cryptid lore. The story spread through newspapers and tabloids, sparking intense interest in both the local community and among paranormal enthusiasts. Over the years, the tale has been analyzed from various perspectives, including extraterrestrial encounters, interdimensional visitors, and even elaborate hoaxes. Skeptics argue that the event was a combination of misidentified natural phenomena and a hoax perpetrated for attention. Conclusion. The Hopkinsville Goblins incident of August 21st to 22nd, 1955, remains an enduring enigma that straddles the realms of reality and myth. The rural farmhouse besieged by goblin-like creatures with glowing eyes and metallic claws continues to captivate generations of storytellers, researchers, and skeptics. Whether the event was a genuine encounter with unknown entities, an elaborate fabrication, or something in between, the story endures as a testament to humanity's fascination with the unexplained and the mysterious. The legacy of the Hopkinsville goblins lives on, an indelible mark on the tapestry of paranormal lore. The Ghost of Lafayette Park. A haunting tale of love, murder, and redemption. February 27, 1859, to present. Lafayette Square Park, nestled behind the grandeur of the White House, stands as a testament to the layers of history that urban landscapes can hold. Known as both Lafayette Park and Tragedy Square, this green space has seen more than its fair share of tumultuous events over the years. From serving as a makeshift graveyard to hosting a zoo, slave market, racetrack, and military encampment during the War of 1812, the park's history is as diverse as the nation it resides in. However, one event stands out among the rest: a cold February evening in 1859, when the park became the stage for a shocking murder that would forever intertwine the names of Daniel Sickles and Philip Barton Key II. Philip Barton Key II, son of the famed author of the Star-Spangled Banner, Francis Scott Key, found himself drawn into a web of intrigue and illicit passion. His romantic rendezvous with Teresa Bagioli Sickles, the wife of Representative Daniel Sickles, set the stage for a tragedy that would echo through the ages. Teresa, a woman both dour and passionate, sought solace outside her troubled marriage due to her husband's numerous public infidelities. The rendezvous was no secret, signaled by a hanging string in a nearby rented house, a secret code that would seal their fates. The storm of emotions reached its peak when Representative Sickles received an anonymous note, penned by RPG, detailing his wife's infidelity. Enraged by the revelation that Key had been as intimately involved with Teresa as he had, Sickles confronted his wife, extracting a tearful confession. The revelation shattered his reputation, and in his blinded fury, he missed the irony of his own transgressions. The culmination of these emotions came on that fateful Sunday in February, as Sickles observed Key waving a handkerchief from Lafayette Square. Their meeting in the park started with cordiality but ended in bloodshed. Sickles extended a pistol-laden hand instead of a handshake, and Key's pleas for mercy fell on deaf ears. In broad daylight and in front of numerous witnesses, including law enforcement, Key was shot 3 times and mortally wounded. This brazen act of violence set the stage for a legal and moral drama that would captivate the nation. Sickles' subsequent trial marked a turning point in legal history. Employing a defense strategy crafted by the finest legal minds in Washington, Sickles became the first person in the United States to successfully claim temporary insanity. His defense played up the affair between his wife and Key, capturing the media's attention and sparking intense public interest. The trial, which hinged on questions of love, betrayal, and justice, became a national sensation. However, the story didn't end with Sickles' acquittal. He retreated from public life but not from public office, assuming command of the III Corps during the Battle of Gettysburg. In a disastrous move, he defied orders, resulting in heavy casualties and the loss of his own leg due to a cannonball. This severed limb took on a life of its own, preserved and sent to the Army Medical Museum with a note bearing the chilling message with the compliments of D.S., Major General. The leg remains on display to this day, a macabre testament to Sickles' complex legacy. Yet, the most enduring legacy of that cold February evening might be the reported haunting of Lafayette Park by Philip Barton Key II. The spectre of Key, limping and tormented, is said to roam the park streets, forever pursued by his own failures and perhaps by the vengeful spirit of the man who took his life. The tale, fueled by the tragic events that unfolded in the park's shadows, has become a part of the park's lore, a story of love, murder, and redemption that continues to captivate the imagination. In conclusion, the Ghost of Lafayette Park is more than just an urban legend, it's a story that encapsulates the complexities of human emotion, the twists of fate, and the layers of history that accumulate in the heart of a city. From the park's diverse roles throughout history to the illicit affair, the shocking murder, and the legal drama that followed, Each aspect contributes to a narrative that lingers like a spectral presence in the park's ambience. As visitors stroll through Lafayette Park, they might feel an eerie connection to the past, where the echoes of a tragic event still whisper through the windswept trees and the park's storied pathways. The haunting legacy of Decatur House. An unsettled duel and eternally bound spirits. In the early 19th century, pistol duels were a grimly common method of resolving disputes. Yet, even as their popularity waned, one particular duel in 1820 left an indelible mark on history and on the Decatur House of Lafayette Square in Washington, D.C. This tale is not only a reflection of the fierce pride and honor of naval officers but also an eerie reminder that the echoes of the past can linger, intertwining the living and the departed. Amidst a climate where pistol duels had become almost routine, they had paradoxically led to a dearth of military officers, a crisis that underscored the grave consequences of such deadly encounters. In the year 1820, pistol duels might have been losing their social currency, but their deadly impact was still keenly felt. It was this climate that set the stage for an event that would soon shroud the Decatur House in an aura of melancholy. The Decatur House itself, a paragon of neoclassical architecture, stood as a silent witness to history, and its walls held the whispers of a maritime rivalry that would eventually lead to tragedy. The eminent Benjamin Henry Latrobe's design encapsulated the essence of an era, and it was within these walls that the lives of Commodores Stephen Decatur and James Barron would converge in a fateful duel. The enmity between Decatur and Barron had evolved into an international spectacle. Barron's capitulation of the USS Chesapeake to the British before the War of 1812 had tarnished his reputation, leading to his suspension from the Navy and an ignominious period of exile in Sweden. Decatur, the triumphant hero of the naval domain, relished every opportunity to publicly vilify Barron, blissfully unaware of his adversary's destitution abroad. When Barron's reinstatement finally arrived, it came as a bittersweet reprieve. The pent-up rage and desire for vindication culminated in a chilling decision, a duel that would determine who stood as the victor not only in life but also in death. The date was March 22, 1820. In a secluded spot, the two adversaries squared off, their loaded pistols poised to settle their long-standing quarrel. 2 shots rang out in swift succession, and both combatants were struck by the unerring accuracy of their aim. In that pivotal moment, destiny cast its verdict. As the smoke cleared, only one figure remained standing, while the other crumbled to the ground, mortally wounded. Decatur's victory had been achieved, but at a price he could never have foreseen. The morrow brought with it the shadow of death. Decatur's final breath was drawn within the hallowed walls of his Lafayette Square abode, his life extinguished by the very means he had wielded against Barron. The mansion, once a symbol of Decatur's grandeur, now became a sepulchre for his legacy. Yet, the passage of time could not quell the emotions that had fueled this deadly rivalry. An aura of restlessness began to pervade the Decatur house, intertwining the past and present in an eerie dance. The legend emerged, painting a picture of Decatur's lingering presence, forever bound to the place where he met his tragic end. Accounts of spectral apparitions and uncanny occurrences gradually took root, with reports of Decatur's visage gazing forlornly from the windows and his figure poised as if gripping the pistols of his final duel. Whispers abounded that the mansion's windows had been bricked up, as if to sever the link between the living world and the ethereal realm. The haunting echoes of history reverberated through the years, stirring the imagination and unsettling the souls of those who crossed the threshold of the Decatur house. Skeptics scoffed, rationalists demurred, yet the tales persisted. A yearning, perhaps for closure, seemed to transcend time and space, binding the story of Stephen Decatur and James Barron to the very fabric of the house they had inhabited. The Decatur house, with its architectural elegance, bore witness to a tale of honor, rivalry, and tragedy that transcended its walls. The dueling grounds that once lay concealed in the mansion's shadow were now overshadowed by the specter of the past, a reminder that the deeds of yesteryears can echo eternally. As the world moved on, the legend endured, a whispered conversation between history and the present, between the living and the departed. In the end, the Decatur house stands not merely as a relic of architectural splendor, but as a vessel for a narrative that straddles the realms of reality and myth. A duel that was meant to settle a feud instead forged an unbreakable connection, binding two adversaries in an eternal embrace of history's embrace. And so, as the sun sets on Lafayette Square, the legacy of Stephen Decatur and the Decatur House continues to echo through time, a testament to the power of unresolved stories and the lingering spirits that refuse to fade away.